That's just because there's no other choice. There's nothing else you can do. And that's what we call gold and silver retaining its value. It's when the whole monetary system starts over again from the bottom and starts growing again.
Rafi Farber discusses the development of commodity-backed currencies and trades in the Asian bloc and the BRICS Plus Association. He focuses on the role of the dollar in commodity exchanges, which are mostly denominated in dollars. He also talks about the trend of trading physical commodities, such as gold, and establishing new markets based on them.
What about commodity-backed currencies or commodity-backed trades that are starting to seem to be developing in the Asian bloc or the BRICS Plus Association?
Commodity-backed trades, that also isn't so much getting around the dollar because the commodity exchanges, they're mostly dollar-denominated exchanges. When you're looking at futures markets, it's not all of them are. Some are Chinese, and there's exchanges in Europe. But again, the euro is based on the dollar, and the yuan is based on the dollar too, because the yuan trades within a window of the dollar. So there's really no such thing as commodity-backed trade, because for the same reason that there's never been such a thing as oil as money. Oil is a commodity. Commodities are tradable, but the money commodity itself is either gold or silver. So if it's any other commodity, it's still another way to talk about dollar trade, but in commodities terms. You're really still talking about dollars because most of commodities trade in dollars.
Some of the talk we've heard is about the Russia or China trading oil for certificates that are redeemable for gold. For example, you mentioned gold being a actual money, and establishing of new trading platforms or new markets, that is in Moscow or in Shanghai, et cetera, that are going to be based on physical commodities. Any thoughts that you have as far as, do you see that as a trend that has legs and is expecting to continue into the future? And will that weaken the primacy of Western historical commodity markets such as New York and London?
Rafi Farber acknowledges the significance of the progress being made towards this new system, but also notes that without a trustworthy reserve of physical gold and silver, the system is unlikely to succeed.
I do see it as a trend. I'm not trying to discount this completely and say it's nothing. It's not nothing. This is significant. But I think what you're seeing is the pieces, a skeleton of a new system forming with no meat on it yet. They're putting things in place to try to set up new exchanges. But, once you have all the body parts in place and what's let's say the Frankenstein scene where the lightning comes down and brings the thing to life, what is that thing that's animating this new machine? It's going to have to be gold itself. And they could start by saying, certificates that are payable in gold, but then you run the risk of inflating that, just like you run the risk of inflating any kind of paper system. It might start that way, but in the end, if this system is going to succeed, if everything that they're setting up now to get around the dollar, even though right now it's not getting around the dollar, but it's infrastructure to be able to do that, if it's not filled with physical gold and trustworthy on a reserve basis, it's not going to work. But it could work if they commit to getting around the dollar by getting under it and using gold, and then using their own, let's say, currencies as substitutes for that gold, which would just mean that they're just trading gold and they have to be honest about how much gold is in their currency by not inflating. It's the same thing. They can't get around this inflationary system by creating another inflationary system. If they want to get around the dollar, they got to use honest money, which is gold and silver itself. There's no way around that.
Rafi Farber addresses the concerns and nervousness people may have around using gold and silver as money, given that it is not a common practice in modern times. He acknowledges these concerns and highlights the historical significance of gold and silver as a means of exchange. The value of gold and silver is seen as magic, but it is really because they provide a measure against which everything else can be calculated.
Ordinary people who want to position themselves as best they can out of harm's way, given these strange times that we're moving through and the concerns that people have about the advent of central bank digital currencies or other means of managing our freedom or lack thereof in the future world, where we don't have privacy, we don't have freedom, we don't have the ability to hold on to real assets, to really, again, own nothing and be happy. People who are wanting to be able to have physical gold and silver in anticipation that they may be able to do direct transactions with others using those as a medium of exchange have all kinds of doubts in their mind about, is this really practical? Is it viable? Is it doable? Your thoughts on the most practical ways that people should anticipate or plan towards managing their lives in the future based on real money, as you call it, and what are some of the difficulties around that, and then what are some workarounds for those difficulties?
Okay, so I'll address the worry and the fear first. Look, I totally understand, given that none of us have grown up exchanging gold and silver coins for pretty much anything, and they're just little trinkets that even if we have a connection to them like you and I do, we've never really experienced what it's like to use them directly as money. It's still even a fantasy, even for us, even though it is a real thing, and it's the basis on which human civilization rests, because that's how division of labor came to be, the use of money. So I'd say regarding the nervousness of how this is going to work, every time there is a financial crisis, every time in human history, from the beginning of money, everything has always gone back to gold and silver. When people have this idea in their heads that they can't really explain, and then they say, why is gold and silver always maintain its value? Because of some kind of magic. You could see it that way. Magic is just a heuristic term that we use for things that we don't really understand. So we have this sense that gold and silver always retain their value and therefore it's magic. But really what's happening is that all the value of everything else, it becomes unknown until you reestablish some kind of measure against which you can calculate these things again. So you return to gold and silver. That's just because there's no other choice. There's nothing else you can do. And that's what we call gold and silver retaining its value. It's when the whole monetary system starts over again from the bottom and starts growing again. And you grow another pyramid, and eventually it leads to another Babel, and then it falls over and we start again. It just keeps going over and over again. So in terms of practicalities, what you can do, look, there's no one size fits all answer to this, but since we don't know exactly how this is going to happen, you don't want to only hold all of your metals in your house in your safe. You don't want to only put it in a company, and a trustworthy company, or some overseas, some not overseas, gold mining stocks, whatever. But you do want some amount of gold and silver with you, and probably some amount stored with a company that you trust. You want to do a mix of these things.
Rafi Farber emphasizes the importance of building local connections in preparation for a potential breakdown of the globalized economy. He suggests making connections with local farmers and other skilled individuals who can provide necessities in a localized economy. He also suggests holding on to some gold and silver as a means of exchange with local communities.
In order to just calm yourself down, just the most practical thing I would do is start making connections with people around you, with local farmers or people that have skills, people that grow commodities, that grow food, that can do things that you need, and create a local circle, because we're going to be breaking up in a good way. And people are going to be more reliant on the people in their immediate circle, because we're not going to be able to go on Amazon and click a button and give them $50 for a trinket that they ship over here in 3 or 4 days. And then, that in Kumbaya, it's not going to be that way. That's a globalized world, and that's breaking down for the good. We're going to be more reliant on local supplies. So get to know your local area and have some gold and silver to be able to trade with your neighbors, with your city, with your county, and make connections now, so that when this happens, you'll know where to go, you'll know what to do, and you won't be screaming or nervous. You'll be a little bit nervous, but you'll have a plan. That's what you want.
As we come to the end of this video, I hope you found it informative and thought-provoking. If you have any thoughts or questions about the topics discussed in this video, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with our latest content. See you in the next one.